Still in New Jersey. In New Jersey, I heard the story of this young prosecutor who was fighting to make sure that children did not get cheated out of a quality education. And in the midst of strong opposition and powerful forces, she held her ground and fought the good fight. Fani Willis is a person of tremendous courage and integrity. Today, that young prosecutor is known all over the world because of her pursuit of justice, because of her commitment that no one is above the law.
Right, all right.
And because of fighting on behalf of all of the citizens of Fulton County. Much has been said about her stand as it relates to the 2020 election and whether or not there was an effort to disregard the will of the people. But her record is about much more than that. And we make a mistake if that's all we focus on.
Got it.
But somebody ought to say something about the fact that crime has been reduced by 25%.
All right.
The third highest percentage across the nation.
Right.
Somebody ought to say something about the fact that she has gone after and attacked the problem of gangs, not only across Fulton County, but gangs which infect in a negative way too many of our communities and especially our young people. And she has carried out indictments against many of the major gang leaders in this area. Somebody ought to say something about the fact that when she assumed office, there were more than 70,000 open cases.
Wow.
Today, all of those cases have been handled.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Somebody ought to talk about the fact that she's created the first pre-indictment diversion program in Fulton County, which gives people who deserve it a second chance. Through partnerships with community organizations and churches and other groups, they are able now to get skills for life and not have their future marred by a criminal record. Fani Willis has a terrific record.
All right, all right, all right.
And we don't want that record to be missed because we focus on one thing.
All right, all right.
And so we come today to endorse Fani Willis and to make it clear that we will do everything we can to make sure that she is not only reelected, but through her reelection send a message throughout Georgia
And the country.
and the nation
All right, all right.
that she's not in this by herself.
All right, all right. Yes, sir.
Let it be known.
That the citizens that she was elected to serve have her back.
Yeah. All right.
Let me close by saying I am fascinated with Fani Willis. These last 4 years have been filled with pressure. One thing after another.
All right.
Threats against her life and all of that. But I'm fascinated because despite all of that, she still enjoys this job.
All right, all right.
All right.
It's like she was born for this job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Fulton County could do no better than Fani Willis.
All right.
So we endorse her today, and we're going to be calling upon all the citizens of Fulton County to join with us in re-electing her as Fulton County District Attorney. This time, let me call upon Dr. Timothy McDonald to come and give some remarks, followed by Dr. Jamal Bryant.
Thank you so much, Bishop Jackson. This is the Civil Rights District,
All right.
Sweet Auburn Avenue. Right in front of us on this wall is a mural of Congressman John Lewis. What we know about him is he talked about getting in good trouble.
Good trouble. Good trouble.
Yes.
If there's one person that I know who's gotten into some good trouble,
All right. All
it's
right.
Fani Willis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And she does it with a smile.
Yeah.
She does it with integrity. She does it with honesty. And she does it with conviction.
Let it be known.
I asked these other ministers to make sure they came up here because I'm aware on the other side there are also some clergy people.
Well,
There are people who say they are faith. I don't know what Jesus they worship.
All right. Say it, son.
Tell it,
Say
tell
it,
it.
son.
Come
Say
on,
it
Rev.
now.
But they are the ones who want to try to turn back the clock.
All right.
They want to take us back to the 50s and the 40s.
All right.
And we're standing here today exemplifying our support of Fani Wilson saying, we ain't going
We
back.
ain't going back. No, sir. And no turning
No
around.
way.
No turning around.
I've been trying to early vote for a week.
All right.
Madam DA, they moved the precinct several miles from where I live.
my Lord.
They changed the time frame wherein I'm able to vote. One of the reasons I stand with Fani was because she's been fighting for the right of all Georgians to vote.
All right.
Democrats and Republicans.
All right.
And to vote in a timely and reasonable fashion.
All right.
Yes, say that, Rev.
Voting is still the best weapon that we have. And Fani Willis stands for the right of all Georgians to vote. And when there is any effort to violate that and to even try to steal and circumvent that process,
All right.
she's doing the right thing.
All right.
I'm looking forward to that trial.
All right.
I'm looking forward with great excitement to see what the Bible says. Justice rolls down like glory,
Yes, sir.
and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream.
Yes, sir.
So it's important that we recognize that there's several clergy who wanted to be at this is the exact same time that Concerned Black Clergy meets every Monday morning.
Absolutely.
From 9 to 12:30. Some of us broke away, but they're still meeting.
Yeah.
Reverend Cynthia Hale wanted to be here. The Reverend Dr. Gerald Durley wanted to be here and had conflicts. But we are here to stand in solidarity with Fulton County's DA, who has become the people's DA.
That's right. That's right.
As she faces all kinds of oppositions. Just in case members of the press, you have not heard about Project 2025
Come on now. Tell it. Tell it. Tell it.
by the Heritage
Tell
Foundation,
it. Tell it. Tell it.
once headed by the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence
Tell it.
Thomas.
Tell it. Tell it. Tell it.
They have already started a process
Yes, sir.
that they want to turn back the clock on our democracy.
Yes, sir.
Lord.
If you haven't read about Project 2025, go read it. Y'all
Read it.
smart
Read it.
journalists.
Read it.
You will see that these folk are people of faith as well.
Yeah.
But they don't serve Joseph's God.
All right.
We stand with Bishop Jackson. We stand with Fani Willis.
Yeah.
Because we serve a God of the people. A God of truth, a God of justice, a God of righteousness. And we are honored to stand in solidarity, to know that she has on the whole arm of God.
All right.
And we do as well. And we ready for the battle.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody standing here ain't never been in a fight.
All right.
All of us have been in numerous fights.
Yes, sir.
And somehow I can say God ain't never failed us.
He ain't never.
And he ain't gonna fail us in this election. So for all of those forces out there, anti-Fani Willis and threats and all that they're doing, get ready.
Get ready.
Because we know how to fight.
All right.
And we serve a God who is a God of truth and justice. And he's in this battle with us. And he's already declared that we're going to win.
All right.
Truth is going to win. Justice is going to win. Righteousness is going to win. And so Fani Willis, know that we got your back, your front, and your side.
Yeah.
God got you above and below, but we got you too.
All right.
And we're honored to stand in solidarity with you.
Amen.
I am honored to bring one of my friends. I've known Bishop for years. When he was over at Morehouse, I knew him. I know his father, the bishop. Jamal Bryant is one of America's true prophets. And we thank God for his courage, and we thank God for his leadership and for what he's doing at Newburgh. Let us hear now from this prophet of God, Jamal Bryant.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. McDonald, Bishop Jackson, to members of the press. My name is Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant of the New Birth and Missionary Baptist Church. I come today to wholeheartedly endorse and support DA Willis, and I wanted you to know why. In 234 years of this republic, not once from George Washington to Abraham Lincoln, not once from John Fitzgerald Kennedy to Eisenhower, not once have we ever had to indict a president. 234 years, American history has been disrupted, but I would dare say that book will not be banned in Florida. But it should be noted that this president is currently under 4 different trials at the exact same time. One of them is taking place even in this hour for hush money, hoping that a woman would be quiet and would not give her peace. Regrettably, that money for them did not reach Georgia. Because we found a hero that is buried in this soil by the name of Hosea Williams, who said that we are unbought and we are unbossed.
That's it.
And our DA has said in the words of that Negro spiritual, I'm not going to let anybody turn us around. I want to give a caveat that this is in fact a ecumenical gathering of preachers. And I need you to see flanked behind me with symbolism and with substance that they are all men. That is not out of misogyny, it is out of clear messaging. The most consistent voting bloc for the Democratic Party since President Obama has been black women. The Democratic Party owes a debt of gratitude for black women carrying the water and delivering for the party for the last 4 presidential cycles. And so we understand that the role and the responsibility in this election is for black men to step up to the plate. If black men step up to the plate, this will not even be a debate. It won't even be a question. It won't even be contention. And so I want to really ring the hammer loud for black men to not just go to the vote, go to the polls, but to go there in record and strong numbers. Because when men lead the way, it will shift the community, and thereby it will shift the nation. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad once said that the most vulnerable person in this nation is black women. And so today we came to surround this black woman with care, with compassion, with confidence, and with love. To know that we are not in any average random place. We could have had this press conference outside of the headquarters of Coca-Cola. But we didn't want you to think that our fire would fizz out. We could have had this press conference outside of CNN. But we didn't want you to think that this was just for click and bang. We could have had this press conference, ladies and gentlemen, outside of Georgia Power. But we wanted you to know that this was not electricity, but this is spiritual undergirding. But we came to historic Auburn Avenue to let Georgia realize that the civil rights struggle is still underway. And I stand here today much like they did on the steps of the monument in 1964 to understand that this debate, this issue, is about not just dreaming, but making the dream a reality. I want my daughters to dream to know that they can be a DA. I want them to dream to know that they can speak truth to power. I want them to dream to know that when they speak against corruption in high places, that a community will stand behind them. I want my daughters to realize that this is, in fact, the words of Fannie Lou Hamer. When you get sick and tired of getting sick and tired, find a second wind and run on and see what the end is going to be. And so we came not just to speak to the press, not just to speak to Georgians, not just to speak to the electorate, not just to speak to the Trump campaign, but we came to speak to our sister, our DA, to let her know that there is a nation standing behind you that is not just giving lip service, but we are going to pull the lever so that she will in fact be back in place and in position to stand for those who don't have a voice, to stand for those who have been marginalized, to stand for those who have been ostracized. And so, ladies and gentlemen, so many of you want somebody else to return to office. Let this be a precursor that this is going to be somebody who's going to return back to office, but she's returning back without 81 indictments. Please help us welcome back our new DA, who is fit for the occasion, birthed for this moment, and has laser precision focus about what our community, what Fulton County is supposed to look like, and all the more what the Constitution is supposed to live by. Thank you so much, and please vote for our DA, Fani Willis. God bless you.
If I can, I want you to introduce. I know he can do it, but I want to. We said Reverend Motley. Dr. Lowry founded the People's Agenda. Dr. Joseph Lowry. Right down the street is the office of SCLC. This is Civil Rights Corridor. The People's Agenda, Helen Butler, Reverend Motley, Reverend Milner, have been on the agenda for decades. We're honored to have the Reverend Anthony Motley representing the organization that Dr. Lowry, who I know if he were alive would be standing here right here with us. The Reverend Dr. Anthony Motley, the People's Agenda. Then the bishop will come and present our DA.
All right.
I am so honored to stand here today and say that I stand with this incredible district attorney. I stand with my good friend Dr. Tim and Bishop Jackson and Brian and all of those who are gathered and all of those who are scattered, not present physically here today, but stand with this courageous woman. This woman who, like Queen Esther of old, has come into the kingdom for such a time as God has handpicked her for this moment. This is her moment. And those who don't even have a keen prophetic eye can plainly see that God is in the midst of all that is taking place, because this woman, I stand with her, and I stand with her, and we stand with her.
Yes, sir.
Because when I saw this fella come on the scene, this Florida fella, it occurred to me after watching him just for a short while, Bishop, that all of the, and this is what came to my mind, all of the resources of hell
All right.
has been made available to this man. Somebody said on yesterday that, I believe it was Reverend Al Sharpton or someone on his show, that there's not a redeeming quality in the man.
All right.
He is soaked and saturated with evil.
All right.
And it's going to take somebody awfully special. And we know that she is able and that she is capable because she has proven herself. So we stand with DA Fani Willis because she stands for what's right.
All right.
We stand with her because she stands for justice. We stand with her because she stands against lies.
All right.
She stands against hate, racial hate. Hatred against reproductive rights for all women. Against the evils of this world. We stand with DA Fani Willis because we believe that she's going to represent the Christ and the kingdom.
Right.
And she is representing Christ and the kingdom. And we stand with her because, in the words of Micah, Prophet Micah, what does the Lord require of me?
All right.
She has proven across the years that she embraces this edict, but to do justice,
Yes, sir.
and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. God bless you. May God keep you. Is our prayer, and DA, keep on keeping on. We're with you.
That's right.
God is with you. The angelic army is with you. Continue to be who God created you to be. Your name will go down in the annals of history, both in heaven and on earth.
All right.
We're with you.
All right.
Yeah. My bishop.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the outstanding, terrific, exceptional,
Mama.
extraordinary
Go ahead, Bishop.
District Attorney of Fulton County, Fani T. Willis.
All right.
God bless you, my friend.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am so humbled today. There is not an endorsement I would seek more than the one that you just heard. These men are the men that lead our community. They are the men that pray for me. They are the men that offer me and my family protection. For me, that's gotten to be a real thing in the last 4 years. I am just a human being, and there are days where I feel very low or very afraid for my children because I am still a mother, and I am a mother first. And when you have people that are really evil and are willing to threaten your children, and I understand will back up those threats, that is a scary thing. And so people keep wondering, how does she keep getting back up to do her job, and why does she even want to get back up to do their job? They just don't understand the God that I serve.
All right. All right.
And they don't understand what I have around me.
All right.
What you have just heard from are godly men who pray for me. And that is all and more than I could ever ask for. And so I am so humbled that they will endorse me today. Fulton County does deserve me as their DA.
All right.
And I'm very, very honored to be here today with these religious leaders. And I'm honored to be here in historic Atlanta and all that historic Atlanta represents. We really are the city that's too busy to hate. And to be able to represent this city means everything. People forget what the bishop tried to remind them of today. When I took office, we were just leaving out of or in the middle of a pandemic. And our community was not a little, but very out of control. We had massive backlogs of cases. When I took office, there were 18,000 unindicted cases going back 7 years. And without the right resources, because we still don't have the right resources, because I got to fight some Republican commissioners, we've been able to get rid of that massive backlog. People don't remember that when I first came to office, I was talking to the wall and telling them Atlanta has a gang problem, and they were saying LA has a gang problem, New York has a gang problem, Chicago has a gang problem, and they did not want to face the reality that Atlanta had a gang problem.
That's
Right.
But with the help of our current mayor and with Chief Shearbaum and all of the police departments, as well as these religious leaders, we've been able to curtail that gang problem and bring crime down more than 25%. Homicides are down more than 21%. That's real. Those aren't just numbers. Those are mamas that get to go home and still hug their babies.
Right.
And if you're a mother, that means something.
Yes, indeed.
We had a very damaged relationship between community and law enforcement agencies. We all remember George Floyd and the damage that that did to our community, and we had our own problems here. And the community was mad, as they should have been mad. 101 police cases going back years that nobody had addressed. Today, I can tell you each of them has been addressed. Sometimes those officers were charged. Others times the officers were cleared. It was whatever the facts and the law required. And what I have found, as long as you do what the facts and the law are, the community will accept it, and so will the police.
All right.
And so we've made those difficult decisions. I have promised a balanced approach. And so I remember running for district attorney and talking to people like Bishop Jackson and talking to other religious leaders and to my strategists and saying, I think I'm nobody's DA. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, I have these people that say there should be no jails and no prisons, but I've been a murder prosecutor. I have woke up too many nights and stepped over young men's bodies, or talked to the victims of child molestation and sexual assault. And I know that there is a segment of society that doesn't deserve to be among the good people of this community because they don't mind creating harm. But then you have these other people that they are foolish as well. They think every single person needs to go to prison, and there is no thing as second chances and restoring people. And so I don't believe in that either. There are people that absolutely deserve a second chance. All they need is a little job training. They need someone that believes in them. They need that record restricted so they can go on and be a productive member. And so I talked to Bishop Jackson, and he said, no, we're religious leaders, but we know it's some evil out here. And they cannot be amongst our parishioners. But we also want you to give that kid that makes a mistake a second chance. And as long as that's what you do, we will back you.
That's right.
And they have been true to their word, because here I stand, and I have been true to mine, because that is the work that we have done. Today, we have the first program that runs all year long. We don't just pop into the school system for a week. We run all year long with our kids that are on the bubble and may turn to a life of crime. And we've been able to do that because parishioners and religious leaders and people from my office have come and volunteered, and we have poured into those children and told them we believe in them. But we've also shown them opportunities. And so we have the first system that is in the school system all year long. We have the first ever in Fulton County pre-indictment diversion program. It costs the participants nothing. Nothing. And they leave with job training and their records restricted. But we've also locked up a lot of folks that don't deserve to be walking amongst us.
All right.
And so today I'm proud of the record I stand on. I am proud that I stand for justice. Let me say it again for those that anger. There is nobody that's the wrong race, that loves the wrong person, that doesn't have enough money in their bank account, that my office is going to treat beneath the law. The law protects all of those people, whether they're black, Hispanic, Asian, poor, bisexual. We are going to stand in protection of those people, because people should not be abused. But I said it earlier, Bishop, and I'm going to tell them again if it's all right with you. It ain't no one above the law either.
All right.
So I don't care how rich you are, how powerful you think you are, who your daddy is, what your political party might be, how much money you think you got, and how evil your supporters are.
All right.
I don't care how many times they threaten me. I will gladly leave this place knowing that I did God's work.
All right.
So we stand here today for justice, and it is my greatest honor that these men stand in protection of me, in support of me, and have given me their endorsement. Thank you all for coming today.
Hey.
All right, thank you. Any questions you have? That's, yes.
Last time we spoke, you said that the train was coming.
You know, I won't speak about any particular case, but what I can tell you is it's my office's intention to try every case we indict. We take a long time, as you know, to prepare cases. It's one thing I changed when I came to office, that cases would be properly investigated before they were indicted, which creates fairness, because it means people don't get indicted that shouldn't be indicted, and people are investigated before we do that. And what I can tell you is it is the intention of my office. If we brought an indictment, we plan on prosecuting it.
And how much support do you feel right now going into that events like this?
I have to tell you, the support in the community has been absolutely amazing. Some people rely on polls, and you know the polls got me way up. It's not that I rely on. It is as I work through this community and I'm at the book bag drive, or I think you and I met at an Easter egg hunt, or I am just in the grocery store or going through my everyday life. It's the mothers and the fathers that come and tell me thank you. And those messages mean so much more to me than any of the ugly messages that are sent my way.
Will you appear before a Georgia Senate committee without a subpoena?
Well, first of all, I don't even think they have the authority to subpoena me, but they need to learn the law.
So will you appear, yes or no?
I will not appear to anything that is unlawful. And I have not broken the law in any way. I said it, you know, I'll say it amongst these leaders. I'm sorry folks get pissed off that everybody gets treated evenly.
All right.
I think she answered that very well.
Wade's interview making headlines this morning. Any reaction to that? Have you been in touch with the judges?
I have not seen any of the interviews that you refer to, and so, no, I have not. I don't have an opinion on something I have not seen.
Well, you talked about clearing some of these unindicted cases, but every time we talk to jail leaders and sheriffs, they're telling us the Fulton County Jail is overflowing with people whose cases are unindicted. Where's the disconnect?
I don't think there is a disconnect. I think if you really pay attention to the numbers, you will see that there have been many indictments brought. We certainly need more work. I would encourage you to tell the county commissioners that we need more staff to do the work. But the reality is, if you look at the jail numbers and you just go back, you will see that they are smaller today than ever. However, for more than 20 years, Fulton County has needed a new jail. They need a new jail right now. The position that they have put my sheriff in is absolutely disgusting. There are doors at that jail that don't have appropriate locks on it. He doesn't have the appropriate manpower. They are asking him to be a magician, not a sheriff. And there are people that should be absolutely ashamed of themselves because they are not properly staffing either the district attorney's office or the sheriff's office. So we are doing the very best job with the resources we've been given, but there are folks that need to be held responsible, and you should call Commissioner Ellis, in case I'm unclear. You should call Commissioner Bridget Thorne, in case I'm unclear. You should call Commissioner Pitts, in case I'm unclear, and you should ask them when they plan to give proper funding to those that are here to protect our community. Woo! Yes, sir.
Without talking specifically about the Trump case, can you talk about a time frame? Do you still think you're going to be able to start this trial before the election?
You know, I told a story recently, and I'll tell it to you because it was a story from my old boss, Paul Howard. There was great advice that he gave me one day. When I was a very young prosecutor, I had tried an aggravated assault where someone had shot someone. And I was very upset with the judge because the judge, after this trial, when I put my heart into it, the person was convicted. They had clearly victimized someone in our community, and I thought they should have been sentenced more harshly as a young prosecutor. I did. And I remember going in and talking to District Attorney Paul Howard, and I was very upset about it. I was reliving the facts for him that he already knew and telling him how long my victim had spent in jail, and that I thought that, you know, I thought the judge had done this because this particular victim didn't matter as much to them. You can read between those lines. And I was very upset about it. And I remember him telling me, you do your job, which is to try that case, and you've done it, and they have to do their job, which is to sentence. And so it will be the judge's job to set the case down for trial. What I can guarantee you is we're not running from any trials. All right, well, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Bless you.
Let us through.
Bishop, where the shade?
That's what I want to know.
Where is this shit?
That's what I want to know. Bishop, good to see you. Good time, Dr. Nice to be back here. And man, my friend, man. Thanks for the invitation. Dr. Marvin, before you, how are you? Standing tall.
And they ain't calling you for Tim either. It's all
Man, it's good to see you.
Motley, if we ask you to sing, you're going to preach. If we ask you to pray, you're going to preach. If we ask you to bring greetings, you're going to preach.
That was a good one.